whispers beneath the lantern sky. The night festival had always been Emma's favorite time of year. The little town she grew up in transformed into a sea of glowing lanterns, laughter, and music. Every corner smelled of roasted chestnuts and sweet cakes, and the air shimmered with warmth despite the cool autumn breeze. Yet this year felt different, like something extraordinary was waiting for her in the glow of the lights. She wandered through the crowded street, her fingers brushing against the lanterns strung low enough for her to touch. People bustled past, children ran with sparklers, and couples shared quiet smiles. She tried to enjoy it all, but her heart carried a quiet ache she couldn't shake. She had just returned from the city, where life had been too fast, too noisy, and too lonely. Coming back felt like stepping into a memory, both comforting and bittersweet. As she paused by the riverbank, watching the lanterns drift across the water, she heard a familiar voice behind her. Emma. She turned quickly. There he was, Liam, the boy she once knew, the boy who used to walk her home after school, the boy whose laughter had filled so many summers. But he wasn't a boy anymore. His shoulders were broader, his eyes a little wiser, yet they still held the same warmth she remembered. Liam, she cried, surprised at how easily his name slipped past her lips. For a moment, neither of them spoke. The years of distance hung between them, fragile yet unspoken. Then Liam smiled, that same crooked smile that used to make her heart race. You came back. I guess I did, she said softly. I didn't think I'd run into you. Funny, he chuckled, stepping closer. I was hoping I would. They walked together along the lantern-lit streets, catching up on the years they'd missed. He told her about how he'd stayed in town, working with his family, keeping close to the roots he couldn't let go of. She told him about the city, the opportunities, the noise, the loneliness. Each word felt like stitching together pieces of a tapestry they had left unfinished long ago. As the night deepened, they found themselves back by the river. Lanterns floated gently on the water, carrying the wishes of hundreds of people into the night. Liam handed her a small lantern and a brush. Write your wish, he said. Emma hesitated, her hand trembling over the paper. She didn't know what to write, so many thoughts tangled inside her. A new beginning, a chance at happiness, or maybe something simpler, something her heart had been whispering all along. At last, she wrote, don't let me lose this again. When she looked up, she saw Liam watching her with the same unspoken longing. His lantern already held a message, though he didn't show her what it was. Together, they placed their lanterns into the water and watched as they drifted side by side, carried away by the current. Emma, Liam said quietly, his voice almost drowned by the music and chatter around them. Do you ever think about us? Her heart skipped, all the time. His hand found hers in the soft glow of the lanterns. It felt natural, as if no years had passed, as if they had simply been waiting for this moment. Then maybe, he whispered, it's not too late to try again. Emma's eyes filled with tears, but they weren't sad. She nodded, squeezing his hand tighter. No, it's not too late. And as the lanterns floated further into the night sky, carrying countless wishes and hopes, Emma realized hers had already come true. Because sometimes, love doesn't fade with time. It only waits, glowing quietly, until two hearts are ready to find their way back to each other.
The Bridge at Dawn. Emma never believed in fate until that morning. The sun was just rising, painting the river in shades of gold and rose, when she stopped on the old wooden bridge. She came here every day before work, just to breathe, to feel a moment of quiet before the world demanded too much. That morning, she wasn't alone. A man leaned against the railing, sketchbook in hand, his dark hair falling across his forehead as he drew. She hesitated, then smiled politely. He looked up, surprised, as if he hadn't expected anyone to interrupt his solitude. Beautiful, isn't it? She asked, gesturing toward the horizon. He returned her smile, slow but genuine. It is. But I think you might be even more beautiful standing in this light. She laughed, a little startled. a little flustered. No one had spoken to her like that in years. He held out his sketchbook, and there, on the page, was a rough sketch of the river, and her silhouette on the bridge. They began to meet there every morning. Sometimes she brought coffee, sometimes he showed her his unfinished drawings. Their conversations were light at first, about books, travel dreams, favorite songs, but gradually grew deeper. She told him about her fear of always being ordinary, and he confessed he was terrified of failing as an artist. The bridge became their place. The world moved on, but on that strip of wood and silence above the river, time seemed to bend toward them. One morning, after weeks of sunrise meetings, he surprised her. He wasn't drawing the river. Instead, he had filled his page with her face, soft lines, tender eyes, a smile he had memorized. He looked nervous when he handed it to her. "You've changed the way I see everything," he whispered. "I don't just want to draw the world anymore. I want to live it, with you." Her chest tightened, tears warming her eyes. She had been waiting her whole life to feel chosen, seen, loved like this. Emma reached for his hand, the sunrise spilling gold across their joined fingers. "Then let's live it, together." From that day forward, the bridge was no longer just a quiet place at dawn. It was the beginning of everything.